Alrighty, so we are gonna work a little bit of core, a little bit of hip flexor, and getting into working towards middle split, right? Instead of just dealing with flexibility, we're gonna make it really functional, working on strength along with it. So let's get started. Start off in seated. You're gonna take your legs out in front of you and take them out to about 90 degrees to start. Even if you can go wider, let's just start here. You're gonna really drive the heels down into the ground so that starts to activate your calves and your hamstrings. And then the motion you want to find is the heels pulling in just to engage it a little bit more. It's okay if your knees bend, because from here, you're then going to flex your quads, and that should straighten it out a little bit. Pull the toes back towards your face, dorsiflex. And then from here, I like to take my hands into prayer. Get nice and long through the spine, and we're tilting from the pelvis. This is an anterior tilt into the pelvis. And you're just gonna go forward, keep pressing. You can poke your quads, make sure that they're turned on. Poke around, make sure your muscles are turned on. Keep dipping forward, keep dipping forward. You wanna stop at the point when your back wants to round. Just working the anterior tilt in the pelvis. If for some reason you're really flexible and you can get your nose down to the ground, try not to put your hands down at all. Take your arms out to the sides, get your nose down, maybe even sweep it out in front of you. Part two to this, once you're here, take your hands down to, let's go slightly out in front of us, about wider than shoulder width apart. And now working on the hip flexor. Get nice and long through the spine. Keep driving your left heel down into the ground, flexing the quad. And then you're slowly gonna slide your right knee in as tight as you can towards your armpit and slide it back out. You're gonna do that until you start to understand the coordination a little bit better. Once you can get it in nice and tight, pull it in nice and tight. Start to open up the knee and see if you can slide this foot in between your arms and slide it out to the middle, and then do the other side. Squeeze the knee in towards the armpit, slide it back out, squeeze it in, slide it back out. Try to stay nice and long through the spine. It's difficult. Squeeze it in, externally rotate, squeeze, 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 and slide the leg out. So if you want to do level 2, try to hover the foot, squeeze it in, externally rotate, try not to touch the ground with the foot, take it out to the side, set it down, squeeze the left knee in, squeeze, 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 externally rotate, and set it down. From here, just doing those is good enough for a warm-up, and we can set you up for other poses that deal with the hip flexor and finding that external rotation. Thank you guys so much.